So we've talked about those different distributions. The reason I wanted to talk about distributions is because I want us to understand that before we get to installing. So now some people might know a little bit about cloud programming. Again, cloud programming or cloud computing rather. Cloud computing is just having services that reside on someone else's computer and utilizing them over the internet, right? So we can install Python on our local machine. You can install it on your laptop, regardless of what operating system it is, because let's go back again, which I forgot to mention. Python is, oh, I don't have it on there. That's horrible. Well, I did have to mention Python is cross-platform, which means you can write the code on any platform and utilize it on any platform. Platform, again, has to do with the operating system. Okay, so if you want to install Python on Linux or Mac operating system, it already comes pre-installed. It's up to you now what version you want it to be. You can upgrade your version or downgrade and so on. The two primary versions of Python are Python 2 and Python 3. Python 2 has been discontinued. Python 2 had its end of life. I think that was in 2018. 2018. Don't quote me anyway. I might be wrong with that. But going forward, nobody's writing any code in Python 2 anymore. So maybe you might go into a job that hires you and they said, hey, we have someone that wrote a Python code. Everything was written in Python 2. Can you switch it over for us to Python 3? That's fine. All you have to do is just remember all the new additions and new features that were added to Python 3. So when installing, make sure you're installing Python 3. That's the version that you want. Now the distribution is up to you. Okay. If you're on the cloud, you might be using what is known as an SDK. Does anybody know what an SDK is?
It's software development kit.
That's correct. A software development kit. So with this distribution, you then have a software development kit that is produced. A software development kit is just a set of tools. Think about it like a toolbox. Okay. Back in the days when I started learning programming, you have to first buy the book. In the book, there's a CD in the book. The CD has the software development kit because not everybody is the one developing software. So if you want to learn Java, you buy the Java book, open in the back. Hopefully nobody has stolen the CD. You get the CD, and put it in your computer, install it and all whatnot. Nobody's doing that anymore. All you need to do now is go to the website, click on the link, download your distribution, your software SDK is created for you in the back. So for each of these cloud systems that are cloud providers, AWS for Amazon, Azure for Microsoft, GCP, Google Cloud Computing, or Google Cloud Platform, they all have their different flavors of SDK that works just fine with their architecture. Okay. So when you go on there, when you see SDK, don't get confused like, what the hell is this? They're not talking about MeDK, they're talking about SDK. So it's just a software development kit, a bunch of tools that will help you write code in Python. Does that make sense? Good, good, good. So again, installing it locally. To install Python locally, it's pretty straightforward. Like I pointed out, you can go to python.org and download it, whichever version is useful for you, or you can use it on the cloud. Personally, if you're using a Chromebook, you will have a difficult time trying to install it, and I don't want us to waste too much time with that setup. I encourage you to use either Anaconda instead of downloading it. If you don't have a Windows, Mac, or Linux computer, you can just code it in the cloud. All you need to do is provide a username and password. Once you sign up, which is free. Once you sign up, provide a username and password, you should be good to go. And I probably forgot my login, so that's not a big deal. But there are many other ways in which you can use Python on the cloud. You can use Repl.it, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Again, this also uses Python built in, whichever distribution. I can't remember if this is CPython, but there's so many of them. There's Codeanywhere and so on and so forth. I'll give you a list of all of them in the notes. But just to let you know, there are many, many options out there for you if you want to code in Python, but you don't want to have the headache of installing it on your machine. Does that sound good to everyone? So again, a few other ones, you have PythonAnywhere. From there, you can host one and code Python in the cloud. There's also Codeanywhere. With Codeanywhere, you get to choose what programming language you want to use and so on and so forth. Okay. So there are many, many options that you can use. But if you are using a Mac operating system or a Linux operating system like myself, you can go ahead and open your terminal. Once you open your terminal, to check what version of Python you have to type in Python. Sorry, let me make this bigger so everybody can see. Okay. So you have to type in Python 3, which is for version 3, like I pointed out. Python 3, a first dash and a second dash, those are 2 dashes, and then you type in version. That is going to tell you what version of Python you're running. This is currently running Python version 3.9.6. Okay, so that's how you would know if you're running on a Mac. If you're on Windows computer, what you need to do to check if you have Python installed or what version you have, you just type in Python -- version. That's what you need to type in Windows. So check that out, and you should be able to get that. Now, for those who are on the Mac, how do you open a terminal on the Mac? Let me close this and start from afresh. So to open a terminal on your Mac, what you need to do is go to Applications. When you go to Applications, you should be able to see Utilities. Under Utilities, you should be able to see Terminal. What I would suggest you do is drag it and drop it on your dock so that you always have access to it immediately. But from there, you should be able to click on Terminal. If you are on Windows, what you need to do is go to the Windows search on the bottom left and type CMD. CMD is for command. That's going to take you to the command line or the terminal or the shell, and you should be able to go from there. Sounds good? What questions do we have? So again, for those that are using Mac, you will not. Yes, I think you have a question. Fred, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, you said when we get the command line and then in Windows, which there was something you say with Python something to know if it's installed in Windows computer or not.
Very good. So what you need to type for Windows is Python. You give a space, and then you put 2 dashes and type in version.
Okay.
If I do that on my Mac, it's definitely going to say it's an error. Yeah, it doesn't know that. For the Mac, what I need to do is type Python 3. So I'll need everyone to at least give me a heads up. Those that have it pre-installed and those that do not have it pre-installed. For those that don't have it installed, that is totally not a problem. What we'll need to do is just go to Anaconda. When you get to Anaconda, let me go ahead and use my virtual.
I don't have it. I got a message that Python was not found. Wrong with that
Awesome.
argument.
So if Python was not found, what I would encourage you to do is go to Anaconda and either download it or use it in the cloud. I'll encourage you to use it in the cloud. That's fine. If you download it, that's also fine. But let's start by using it in the cloud. Tomorrow, we're going to make sure everybody has it downloaded. I can give you that as your homework to download it. But let everybody go ahead, go on the cloud. I can log in now because I already have an account. Okay. Actually, I'm lying. This is for me to create an account. Instead of me creating an account, I don't want that. I want to log in because I already have an account. So let's go ahead and log in into the Anaconda nucleus. To log in, I'll put my username and my password. It should be straightforward. So to create an account, you're going to put in your username, password. It will send you a confirmation email, something like that, and so on. So it definitely takes me to the last part where I was, but I'll go ahead and start a new one altogether. All right, everybody good? So 2 things that I'm going to need from you guys before I proceed. First is for those that do not have Anaconda, or sorry, that do not have Python, you can go ahead and start downloading it. It might take a minute, but also go ahead and sign up on Anaconda.com. From there, we're going to be using Anaconda on the cloud, and I'll be able to explain to you all of these when we get back. What I need you to do is go to Anaconda.com. Let me go ahead and type that again. Oopsie. Go to Anaconda.com, download Anaconda, and also create an account in the cloud. Okay. So for instance, I already have it, so I don't really need to, but that's fine. I'll go ahead and download it. If I click on download, it starts downloading, as you can see here. Whenever it's done downloading, that's totally fine. But go ahead and click on in the cloud so that you can also have it running in the cloud, and you should be able to go from there. Okay, so it's probably going to take about less than 10 minutes to download, and then you install it. But go ahead and also code in the cloud. When you go ahead and create a username and password, it will let you sign in. When you sign in, you should be able to see a page like this. So after the 10 minutes break, when we come back, that's where we're going to carry on from.